What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Sacred Sunday to you. I'm Love Coach Scott Gatamas, and I love hosting the Awakening World. And we have a really special edition today, which we'll tell you all about in a moment. But first of all, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome all of our friends. I see a lot of our regulars that have arrived in our Zoom room. As always, let us know where you are geographically. I want to thank those of you that are watching on the different YouTube channels. Thank you, Alan Steinfeld. And those watching on our newest broadcast partner, the Conscious Awakening Network. And most of all, I want to welcome everybody who is watching us on the Sign Network. And I always thank John and Summer Raymer. And Summer's with us today. We're going to see Summer in just a few minutes. And so thank you. They get us out to as many as over 100 Facebook groups and pages. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Conscious Awakening Network, that's great. And come on in, come join the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. It's like what's behind me right here, globalpeacetribe.com. And that'll take you to our website. You can learn all about us, all the different things we do. And I want to invite you then to click where it says join or join our winter season. Summer for those of you in Australia. We do 3 or 4 shows every week, and all of our shows are inspirational. They are filled with amazing people. So for example, these are kind of a lot of our regulars, regular co-hosts and friends. On Wednesday night, we did a wonderful show all about the power of self-acceptance. On Friday night, it was January 6th, and that date brings up a lot for people. So we did a show all about healing the divide that so many of us, of course, are aware of. Last night was an amazing show where we had several world-class healers and medical intuitives sharing wisdom. And then here's today's show. And today's show, I love when we get to collaborate with Kristen Hoffman, Keishi Chai, and the artists Catalyzing Evolution. And it's going to be a very, very special show. So register, come and join us. And that way you're in the Zoom room. We can directly interact with you. You can comment, sometimes even come on camera. And you get all the links that we put in. I'm going to be putting a lot of links in at the end of the show for how to connect with all the people you're meeting today. So welcome. Okay. I am so happy when I get to collaborate with Kristen Hoffman. She's absolutely one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Most of you know her. She's an incredibly talented soul, but she also has a really, really big heart. And I'm just so grateful that we get, when I woke up this morning, I swear to you, my first thought was with Kristen today.
Oh, thanks, Scott. Well, it's such an honor to be here, and always feels like a great blessing when we have a chance to weave with the ACE Synergy Circle. And today we are going to be, rather than talking about art, we are going to be actually really weaving live together a very, very special and sacred experience. And can we bring on the rest of the ACE Synergy Circle?
Yeah, why don't you introduce the ACEs and then also tell people a little bit about what ACE is?
Yeah. So the ACE Synergy Circle is a special circle that has arisen out of the evolutionary leaders. And for years in the evolutionary leaders, I've thought, oh, wouldn't it be incredible to really have a space where the artists in this group can start to resonate together, tap into what does it mean to be an artist, both in the blissful aspects of that and also the challenges. As we know, when we are on this journey of artists, there can also be a lot that comes up that we have to navigate. And so we get together once a month and we really dive into both the art, to what we're working on, and we have a share space where we can really amplify our own heart's desires and support each other in our journeys. And it has proven to be such an important space, I can say, for me as an artist, and I feel that I can really say that for each of us in the group. One thing we've been wanting to do more is actually come together in circles and spaces like this, where we don't just share what each of us are doing, but we actually feel into the group and see what wants to birth as a whole. So that is what we're going to be doing today. And let me bring on the incredible artists of ACE. Now, this is just select artists from our circle who are going to be in this weave today. The circle has about 15 members at this point in time, but these are some of the most incredible beings in the circle. Summer Joy Raymer, who I think many of us know. Can we bring Summer on? Hey, Summer. Summer is an incredible all-around being, leader, movement expert, and founder of the Garden of Joy. And definitely, of all beings that I know, Summer really spreads joy everywhere she goes. So thank you for joining us today, Summer. And then Keishi Chai, let's bring on Keishi Chai. Keishi Chai actually founded the ACE Circle with me, and she is an incredible dancer, movement facilitator, leader. She was the founder of Belly Queen and Pure Public Urban Ritual Experiment. She does a lot with using the art as a vehicle to share about the environment and how we can raise our awareness as conscious artists. And such a blessing to have Keishi with us today. Charles Gibbs. Charles Gibbs is going to be with us today. Should I call you Reverend? Charles. Charles happens to be an incredibly beautiful spirit, a reverend, a great poet. I have personally become one of Charles's biggest fans, I think. His poems have a way of touching the heart and opening up chambers of the heart that are deep and penetrative and filled with both our honest looking at our shadow side and then bursting forth with light. I think this is, I don't compare lightly, but some of what I have loved out of the great Sufi poets, I feel when I really receive Charles's gift. So we are going to be receiving his beauty today. So thank you, Charles, for being here. Now, Reverend Ivy Hilton, I don't know if we have her picture. She is going to be joining us today in spirit form, and we will be actually opening up our weave with a special blessing from Reverend Ivy. She can't be here in body form today, but she will certainly be opening up and blessing the space. She runs beautiful sound spa experiences. She is a guide, a facilitator, an incredible sound healer and vocalist, and we are going to be blessed by her incredible artistry today. And then Scott, Scott is actually a very important member of the ACE circle. So I just want to officially say thank you, Scott, for being a part of the circle and coming every single month, because you are an artist as well. And you really do help us to weave together and open up these spaces where we can explore. So thank you. Scott will be with us. And Kara Stonehouse, where is Kara? Kara Stonehouse, welcome. Kara is such a beautiful, conscious artist. She has a gift unlike I have ever witnessed, where she can literally tap into a live space of discussion, of talks, of other artists, and will be creating art as she goes, as she feels, as she intuits. And at the end of every meeting we have, Kara has birthed these beautiful visual pieces. Thank you. I mean, you have brought so much color to every single circle and world that you step into. In addition to her artistic skills, Kara also has really let us know recently that she is not just an artist, but she is a poet extraordinaire. I think on some of our last ACE gatherings, we have really gotten to get a taste of some of Kara's newest poetry. And I hope that I don't think that that's going to be ending anytime soon. I feel like it's a brand new, beautiful beginning. So thanks for being here, Kara. It's always such an honor to have you in the circle. And I think that really gives you a little taste of everyone. So now to move to our feature of the day, we are going to be honoring an incredible fellow evolutionary leader and evolutionary, and just dear heart and leader in our world, and also I think in so many people's worlds who are watching right now. Rick Ulfik, who is the founder of We the World and 11 Days of Global Unity. I have personally known Rick for years. I've been part of his incredible Earth Day events. I've gotten a chance to dance and weave with We the World. I think so many people on this planet have been deeply moved and touched and moved into motion by Rick's We the World. And Summer's going to share a bit more about Rick as she's been in touch recently.
Yeah. Oh, this is such a beautiful way to be in synergy and collaboration with my fellow ACE brothers and sisters, and welcoming in the Global Peace Tribe, because you're going to be a part of this experience with us too. I remember the first time I met Rick, it was in New York City with my husband, John Ramers, really, really close with him. They've done a lot of work around the Compassion Games and global unity for so many years. But I'll never forget the first time I met him. We were at like an event somewhere in New York, not remembering that part. And suddenly someone starts to play the piano, and I didn't even know there was a piano. It was like a kind of a lobby. And suddenly the piano started to play, and I look over and it's Rick Ulfik. And I feel like that's really says a lot about his spirit, as he just looks for how to bring people together. Unity is what he is all about. And for those of you that don't know, he recently has had a lot of health, a lot of challenges going on directly in his heart. And he unfortunately had a heart attack and a stroke that brought him just a couple months ago having to stay in the hospital in the New York area. And as Kristen and Scott and so many of us were recently in our circle, we were inspired to want to cultivate a space for him to get out of the hospital, to hopefully really have more possibilities. He was waiting for a heart transplant, which ended up after not to say that it came from us, but I do have to say, I do believe that we're all impacting each other all the time. But since we were inspired to do this on this show, he now has been given the opportunity for a heart pump as a second possibility, because he couldn't, the heart transplant wasn't it didn't unfold so well. So he has gotten a heart pump, which is really great. And he's out of a different part of the hospital, and is now in rehab. And of what I've heard, he will maybe be there and in rehab for the next couple of months. So there's still a lot of need. I mean, he still can't go home. Can you imagine being away from home that long? And he's just such a fighter and has such incredible people around him. And I know he will see this and his family will see this. So what a gift and such an incredible service we are doing together today. So thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, when he had the heart attack and the stroke a while back, probably I guess 4 or 5 months ago, then he got a little bit better. And while he was in his little bit better stage, I did an interview with him because we knew and he knew that we might lose him. And so we did about an hour-long interview, but we've edited it down to about 7 minutes. So we're going to play this. And as we play this video, I just encourage everybody to pray and send him love, send him light, and also just take in. We've got him basically telling a little bit about his history, a little bit about his story. And then we're going to have a beautiful experience where all these artists have come together and they've woven together a tapestry of dance and music and poetry dedicated to Rick. So it's going to be a very unique show. And, we are the Global Peace Tribe and we are a community and we take care of each other and we support each other. And it's beautiful watching how our community is coming together. I see so much in the chat. People now, hey, how are you feeling? Because, we're all getting to know each other. And so this is like a kind of the next step or another step of support for our beautiful, beloved brother, Rick Ulfik. So thank you, artists Catalyzing Evolution, so much for being here and putting this together. And here is the edited version of my interview with Rick, which I'm pulling up right now.
And Rick knows that we're all tuning in right now. So as we're sending our energy out today, not just the A circle, but all of you who are taking part in the circle, Rick is actively receiving. So just feels like that's important to note that he is aware that we are
global unity, along with some other folks.
Hold on one second.
We created something called the.
My
background is.
There he is. There's his voice.
Here he comes.
Too. She's already drawing.
I was a full-time musician, and I've had a 35-year music career. I've written music for television and film, commercials, all the networks. I've done music for ABC, CBS, NBC, the Olympics, commercials, feature films, documentaries, all kinds of media. So that's my background. And yet, as interesting as that has been, and I've had the opportunity to do gigs with Carlos Santana and Phoebe Snow and Bernadette Peters, and I'm on one of the early hip hop albums of Queen Latifah, playing keyboards. So I've had this music career, and yet in the mid-1990s, I started realizing what good is a music career if the world is going down the tubes? And as much as I love music and all of that, I really wanted to be closer to where the action was to creating a world that works for all. And at a certain point, I realized that I wanted to create something that would facilitate collaboration on a global scale, and that was the creation of We the World. And so we launched that in 1998. So it's been a while since we launched it, but we've had incredible supporters. Jane Goodall was one of the first people to become a major supporter with We the World. Archbishop Desmond Tutu became a supporter. And in fact, when we launched 11 Days of Global Unity in 2004, Jane Goodall and Marianne Williamson were back-to-back keynote speakers at the launch for September 21st. And it might be interesting for people to realize what the evolution was to create 11 Days of Global Unity. It really started, as we know, with Avon Madison, our dear friend who has passed, but she helped to lobby the UN to launch the International Day of Peace, hopefully to have a global ceasefire. And this happened in 1981. The International Day of Peace actually started by being on September 11th, and then it went to September 21st. And that, we looked at that and we said, this is a symbol of the journey from fear to home, from fear to hope, right? From September 11th to September 21st. And that became 11 Days of Global Unity. The theme that we have been talking about is creating this culture of peace, but it's also we consciousness. In a sense, like I always say, let's go from a me society to a we society, right? People in our circles and so many others are resonating with this message that it's so important to have people be part of that we, because they realize that if it's a culture of us versus them, it's not going to work. Some people just figure, oh, well, the different tribes, let's say, are never going to get together, right? So some people are cynical in that way. But I've been involved with something called nonviolent communication. Someone named Marshall Rosenberg developed this decades ago. He actually joined the advisory board for We the World, and he was one of the first, he helped to launch 11 Days of Global Unity along with some other folks by, we created something called the Universal Declaration of Interdependence, and Marshall Rosenberg was one of the first people to sign that. So the idea of nonviolent communication is that there's a certain set of needs that everyone shares. It doesn't matter what their politics are. It doesn't matter what country they have from, their ethnic backgrounds or nationalities, their religions, or any of that. People share these needs for things like love and intimacy and meaning, autonomy, choice. There's about 90 of them, 95 of them. The main point here is this, that we have that basis, that kind of commonality that all humans share. If we focus on actually satisfying people's needs and creating a mechanism that actually, like a society that can actually satisfy people's needs, and people can come together to do that on a large scale, there's no reason why we can't do it.
We love you, Rick. We love you, Rick. So
I put the links in the chat, but I want to just briefly just let people know where you can go and find out more. So again, you heard him talk about the 11 days of global unity. And again, that website is 11, the number 11, 11 days of global unity.org. And there's, of course, Rick, the founder. And it's Saturday Night Live did two shows, two consecutive Septembers with Rick and with 11 Days of Global Unity. And that's where we began to meet so many people that have become really a big part of my life. Ben Bowler and all the collaborations. And then the other major website he talked about is his kind of We network. And I noticed that actually the we.net was down, but trends.we.net is up. And that's where they have these different e-magazines with all sorts of wonderful features. So those are two of Rick's creations that continue on even while he's in the hospital.
Thank you, Scott. So now it is time to really open up this space, this circle of healing. And each of us is going to be a participant in this space. So let's just close our eyes. Summer and I are going to start with just a little mindfulness prayer to just call us in. And after the prayer, the experience, the weave experience is going to begin naturally. And we're not going to have talking in between. We're going to let the artistic flow of this healing circle be exactly what it wants to be and shower us with all of the gifts. And then at the very end, we will be able to come back together and really talk about our experiences and feel into what has happened and how, how we've co-created together and how does that feel in our hearts. So there will be a time to share at the end. And now let's just close our eyes. We're going in. And I want to call Rick Ulfik, into the center of this we circle. Rick, we see you in the center of this we circle. Our hands are holding our neighbor next to us. We are encircling you with light, with love, with gratitude.
And we welcome you to open your heart and your body and your being at this moment to all the hearts here surrounding you in this circle. As we invite everyone to tune into your heart, tune into your hearts and that welcoming, healing possibilities of miracles that we can bring, as he is such a man of the we space. Just see that glorious light in his eyes before us, that dedication to we could do hard things together. Feel that connection with him at this moment.
And as you're feeling the depth of this connection, notice your breath. Breathing deeply in and out like an ocean. Breathing with this ocean of oneness. Deepening into this cohesive, coherent space.
Inviting your hands to begin to breathe with your breath into your heart and out to Rick's heart. Feel that as we connect into that together. Inhale into your heart. Exhale all that life force energy into Rick's heart.
And we will keep this energetic breathing and the heart-to-heart connection flowing as we receive a crystal harp attunement from Reverend Ivy.
Keeping that connection of our hearts, breathing together through this space.
Feeling that breath.
Now that we've opened up the tuning of healing from Sister Ivy and the relationship of all of our hearts connected to Rick's heart, we imagine into a space that we are all inside his holy heart that needs healing and love. We imagine we are inside his heart, feeling into where things are hurting, where inside.
free, we see your light and love. We see your bright light and love. We know your bright light and love, dear soul. We're lifting in your great spirit of who you are and all the light that you've brought to the world. We are so filled with gratitude. Oh, dear brother, we are filled with the hope of your mission, of your mission. Brother, we are filled by the light of your great heart.
Inviting you all, join us by Ulfik's great heart. We are in this. Inviting your hands, I want to see. To
Raising your hands.
into
Heart to heart, heart to heart. Do you feel that heartbeat in your hands? Heart to heart, yes, heart to heart. This circle all around you with a heartbeat in our hands. We're heart to heart, heart to heart. Our hands are holding your great heart, heart to heart. Feel it, heart to heart. We are one great ocean wave of love, beating together. Beating is one, beating is one, beating together. One family. Heart to heart. Heart to heart.
all directions.
All directions. Heart to heart.
Feeling your heart, the preciousness of this moment, the possibilities of our brother getting out of the hospital and seeing his heart in his own home. Feel into the possibilities of that. Just letting yourself move in that wee space. Moving back to that breath, inhaling in your heart, exhaling for Brother Rick's heart. His family's hearts, those taking care of him, feeling their hearts. His partner's heart. Yeah. Thank you.
And Keishi carrying this heartbeat forward through the weave.
Thank you so much, Kristen and Summer. I realize that I'm out of sync with myself. However, this is the way it's meant to be right now. My name is Keishi, and I'm a bicoastal artist. I've been friends with Rick and collaborated with him since 2004. I facilitate a community group called Pure Public Urban Ritual Experiment. We took our maiden voyage out into the world in July 17th. This was in response to 9/11. I had felt that New York was under a shadow for a few years after the terrorist attack. And we go out into the streets, we meaning around 30 dancers and 5 to 6 drummers. And we bring color and magic through dance and music to the unsuspecting public. And years ago, I asked the dancers if there was an organization they wanted to support. So after we went out and did our procession through downtown Manhattan, and we went to the World Trade Center site where we prayed, and then we later moved down to Battery Park. Then we went to a restaurant and had a fundraiser and a celebration dinner. And one of the dancers had suggested We the World, which at that time I was just learning about We the World, but I really resonated with the vision. So we invited Rick Ulfik to come to share his vision with us, and we raised some money for Rick and got to know him. And then in the ensuing years, we have collaborated in many of his events at Martin Luther King's school, which is on Amsterdam Avenue, at the United Nations. I've done things with Kristen, with Rick, and I would often run into Rick on the subway at Central Park. He's just one of those magic fairies that will pop up, and he's got a twinkle in his eye, and he's this gentle giant. He's very tall compared to me. I'm only 5'3". So he always towers over me, but he has this beautiful spirit that I really enjoy. And we need more Rick Ulfiks in the world. We need Rick Ulfik to heal, to recover, so that he can continue reminding all of us to move out of I to we. And with that, I am going to dance to a song, the We the World theme song. And this will be an improvisation. It will be a meditation, a healing for Rick. Okay, here we go. We the world.
weather's in the storm. How union makes earth heaven, the bond that we form. Shows we the world, the insects, the plants, the birds. With the stars in the skies, we create the words to describe what we see, to take us where we wanna be. We all wanna be free. We the mountains, reach for the sun. Everybody, part of everyone. We the world. Intentional kindness will take away the blindness. Peace and love will eventually find us. Enjoying harmony, creating shares of unity. We spread positive vibes through our communities. We the world, we the people, the vision. One that reaches all within the soul, that's the mission. Within the heart, joyously share the peace of art, the art of share, the art of care. We say that's a decent start. The art of action in our lives. It shows that the dream survives. Channels hope and equity drives. Giving back makes you tingle inside like stomach butterflies, and that'll let us rise to the sky. We the world. Said we the world.
We the world, we the people, we're the stuff made of stars. We the world, we the people, so near and yet so far. Talk about peace and evolution, where we're all one race, working together with a solution. True equality, one world community, from me to we, oh me to be, will set us free. We the world, we the people, we're the stuff made of stars. We the world, we the people, so near and yet so far. We the world, we the people, we're the stuff made of stars. We the world, we the people, so near and yet so far. We the world, we the people, we are made of stars.
Absolute twinkling for Casey in that beautiful, beautiful dance.
I wonder, when was the last time you thought to say thank you to your heart?
Hmm.
When was the last time you let your heart feel your love for your heart? This might be a moment to pause and give our thanks and love to the heart that beats inside our chest, without which our life would not be possible. Let's take a moment, and however you wish to express your gratitude and love for your heart, please do that. Now let's take all that gratitude and love and send it to Rick's heart. Open our hearts to help heal his. And in opening our hearts, we heal ours as well. Because let's face it, we all live one way or another with shattered hearts. let this be a time of heart healing for all, and especially for Rick. And let's not make this a once-in-a-lifetime event. I think our heart would love to hear from us at least once every day, and maybe many times every day, and to extend our heart into the world heart. Rick, creator, collaborator on a global scale, me to we, the late great Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, the next Buddha will not be an individual, but the Sangha, the community. Rick has helped to create the global Sangha that will help manifest the next great spiritual presence on this earth, not with a great leader, but with a web of connection that asks us to expand our notion of we. Here is a poem, Who is We?, dedicated to Rick Ulfik. Always, it seems, he smiles, lips rising gently upward like his vision for humanity, growing wide to invite all life into awareness of our oneness, awakening into action for absolutely all in this inextricably interconnected web of life. Who is we? Not the small-hearted we, erecting a wall, enforcing imagined sameness, excluding so many from a narrow space of exclusive caring and belonging. But the big-hearted we that opens a space large enough to encompass the entire Earth community. The big-hearted we that opens a space large enough to encompass the entire Earth community in a sacred circle of caring and belonging. Be still. Open your heart and mind. Can you feel us breathing as one? The smile, the welcoming gentleness. We, the world. Be still. Open your heart and mind. Can you feel us breathing as one? The smile, the welcoming gentleness. We, the world. And I'd like to offer one more poem because it's probably as close as I have come to expressing what I believe is the spirit that animates Rick and animates We the World and animates the people who are gathered here today. It's called A Transformed Tomorrow. As all around us, suffering sisters and brothers from infants to elders of all species, drench the earth humans are despoiling with tears of anguish and rage, and old forms like parched plants wither away, or hover at the edge of surrender, caterpillars entrusting all to an intuited chrysalis, or rage with the destructive fury of a galaxy of exploding stars. Humanity inhabits a present, suspended between promise and menace, echoing an urgent cry. Come, you who would be the womb to guard and grow a transformed tomorrow. The hour is late. shadows lengthen. Come, you lost and forgotten. Come, you lonely and careworn. Come, you whose hearts are breaking. Come, you secure seeming in vaults of power. Come, you who embody compassion. Come, you who sail seas of change. Come, you who awaken with the sun. Come, you from all faiths and you from none. Come, elders and infants. Come, wise women and humble men. Come, red, yellow, black, brown, white. Come from the east. Come from the south. Come from the west. Come from the north. Come, we the world, led by fire, light, and love. We are the kindled spark, called to conceive in co-creative goodness the already emerging future. Yes, the gestation will be long and often terrifying, but also overflowing with joy. So trust what grows in the nurturing dark. Yes, the hour is late and the shadows lengthen. Yes, the labor will be long and the pain fierce. But on the far side of advancing night, the sun will rise, new life will emerge. Perhaps in the dawning light, withered fields and forests will revive. New species will be born, the hoop of nations healed, the circle of life restored to wholeness. Perhaps. May we awaken and in fire, light, and love, labor as one until this dawn of promise is delivered. Thank you, Rick Ulfik.
So we have listened to our hearts, to the vision of Rick, from creating beauty through music to creating beauty through collaboration for an International Day of Peace, for ceasefire, for we being the world together. We prayed and opened and connected our hearts. We bathed in the angelic sound bath to reach there. We flowed and moved in the rhythm of healing together. And the deep words of hope bring us home. So we send the vibration of healing of all we've experienced together in this time. Just bring it home as a wholeness. And feel the wholeness as it connects with Rick's spirit and that which is yearning in each of us for healing and wholeness. Amen.
And feel yourself coming back deeply to this breath. Taking note of all the beauty that you've received in this circle of consciousness, of love, of artistic grace. Infinite gratitude to Rick's heart, to his life. Infinite gratitude to each artist who has woven this circle of love so beautifully around and with our beloved Rick. And infinite gratitude for each of you who have participated in the journey with us, in holding this vibrant healing space that we can feel viscerally in this magnificent piece of art that Kara has brought through. Life is so precious. Life is so mysterious. Our journeys of deep listening guide us, and we know that Rick's heart has been guided through his journey so thoroughly and beautifully that he has birthed so many gems upon this planet so that we can each awaken into ourselves a bit more. And I just want to officially complete our circle. So now just sealing the energy with love, with golden white light, sealing this energy. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so. And now opening to sharing so that we can vocalize any experiences that have come forth during our time together. I know it's hard to talk after after a deep experience like this, so whatever feels natural. But I just wanted to open up the room firstly to the ACE artists. If anyone would like, if there's anything that wants to be shared, please just go ahead. And then maybe we can even open up to anyone who would like to share from the Zoom room.
While all of our ACE people is still kind of percolating, Reverend Deb Moldau has joined us. And so she is such an important part of our community. And so I'd love to turn it over to Rev Deb.
Thank you so much, dear Scott. Thank you for holding this space for our beloved colleague and friend, Rick Ulfik, and thank you to all of the members of the Artists Catalyzing Evolution Synergy Circle who have created this beautiful program today. Hats off to all of you. I'm never available on Sunday mornings. I just got home in time to hear that beautiful poem from Charles about we space that has always been the heart, dare I say, of Rick's work and Rick's dedication. I've known Rick for probably 30 years now. We work together at the United Nations. We've made music together at the chapel at the United Nations, and we did a concert together in China. So he's very dear to me, and I've been holding him so deeply in prayer and in my heart. And to see all of you taking this to the next level of we, where the spark from Rick's heart has illuminated so many other sparks in other people's hearts. Thank you, Kara, for that beautiful design with Rick at the center. Thank you, Kristen and Casey and Summer, all of you for holding this magnificent space. And it makes me feel so connected, like when one of us is suffering, all of us are suffering. And I just can't express enough gratitude and love for all of you. Thank you so much. Scott, you too.
How perfect to have you come in. And I know that Sundays are your church day, so I'm glad you were able to come in just in time to really offer, because we love you so much and you're such a big part of this particular circle, this particular tribe. So thank you so much. Summer.
I just want to say thank you. That was really profound to share with all of you. You know, what a way to like be together in a we space, you know? And I really feel connected to him right now. And I actually text messaged him earlier, and I haven't heard back from him, but I just, you know, it really matters that we do things like this. And just look forward to hearing really good news soon on Rick Ulfik's on his behalf, you know? I'm just really honored to be a part of this. And Scott, it's really important to highlight yourself too, because this is the space you're opening your space for us to do this in. And I just think it's really important that you also highlight yourself because you're part of ACE, and just want to acknowledge that. And
this is truly our we space. I am grateful I get to be captain of the ship. I love being captain of the ship, but it is our ship, absolutely. And it's so beautiful how it's evolved, you know. Last night, collaborating with Jennifer Hill, collaborating with all of you today. I'll be collaborating with Rev Deb in a few weeks. And so it's beautiful how it's evolved and continues to evolve. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I'm going to bring up all of our artists collaborating today. And Kara, I'd love for you to show yourself. It's beautiful what you created, but we want to see you too. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to do my normal promotions. I think let's maybe close just by one more time putting the spotlight on Rick. And as most of you know by now, I love the prayer, maximum grace, because none of us know what's best. There's what we want, there's what we'd like. But when we pray for maximum grace, we're turning it over to divinity, but putting our best prayer into maximum grace, because miracles take place because of grace. Grace is the highest form of divine love. So maximum grace for Rick. Maximum grace for our evolutionary leaders. Maximum grace for our global peace tribe. Maximum grace for our world.
Maximum grace.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to gallery view so we can see our beautiful global peace tribe that's with us, and encouraging you to turn on your cameras. Thank you for an amazing weekend, and look forward to seeing all of you starting next Wednesday night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. And truly, this is a sacred Sunday.
Love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. We love you, Rick.